Hey guys, welcome back to the Chrysalis House YouTube channel. My name is Chrysalis and this is the first of however many videos it'll end up being in a series on my channel titled Embodiment 101. Something that is fundamental to pretty much everything that I teach and share with you guys is embodiment. Now, what even does that mean? It literally just means being in deep connection with your body and your senses. It can be pretty simple to think about it from the perspective of like taste, smell, touch, feeling, all of that sort of thing. But to me, it almost goes beyond that when you think about it sense-wise. It goes into the depths of, can you feel the tendons and the fibers of your muscles moving? Can you feel different layers in terms of like your skin versus your fascia and different things like that? Now, I'm not here at all pretending to be some sort of a scientific expert, but I am somebody who has been developing a deeply embodied relationship with herself since I was 21 years old. I'm now 29. I've gone through many different years of somatic therapy, somatic exercises, and now in my daily life, I intuitive dance and maintain a deeply embodied relationship with myself. And so in this first video of the Embodiment 101 series on my channel, I'm going to tell you a couple of helpful tips to start embarking on this embodiment journey. Now, to give you some sort of context or background for where I started versus where I am now, I feel like telling you guys that I actually used to be deeply disassociated almost all of the time in my life. And if you don't know what that means, to me, the definition of disassociated is just feeling like you're not in your own body, right? It feels like maybe your body's here, but like you're out there, you're back here, or you're just like in some weird foggy haze. And to me, disassociation is pretty much the antithesis of what having an embodied relationship with yourself is like. When you are embodied, you feel present, you feel grounded, you feel like you're actually sitting in your own skin and you're with your muscles, you're with your tendons, your joints, all of it. It's not separate from you. It's like you're in this deep relationship where you're all moving as one. And it's not just the physical act, right? Like obviously you're in your body, but it's this feeling of deep relationship where you like can fully feel the fluidity of your movements and just how in unison you and your vessel really are. When I was in this phase of my life, when I was deeply disassociated, it didn't really occur to me that embodiment was the goal. This was just a byproduct of me doing a lot of different things that I was doing in hopes of becoming a more self-aware person and somebody who could just have better relationships in her life. That's honestly all I wanted. I got that, and I also got this really deep sense of connection with my body. And so I'm going to share 3 different things that you can do to start embarking on that relationship between you and your vessel today. The first thing that I recommend is starting a restorative yoga practice. This was absolutely fundamental to me developing a baseline with my body that apparently many other people do not have. I was told this by my chiropractor, that my connection with my body is not normal. This is not what most people experience. And I want you to experience this abnormal level of connection with your body because it's only given me liberation. It's only given me depth of feeling and being alive. And one of the things that helped me most was restorative yoga. Now, this isn't yoga where you're like sweating your ass off, your muscles are shaking because you're in this really intense pose. It's not about you getting in better physical shape. It's about you doing really simple, restorative, nourishing poses with your body where you can sit in them for about 5 minutes each at minimum. Yes, at minimum. Sometimes I would do 10 to 15 to 20 minutes and just feel yourself exist in those poses. The biggest component of doing these different poses is your breath. If you are doing these restorative yoga poses and you are doing what most people do without even realizing it, which is just breathing shallowly, you are probably not going to get the benefit out of it that you are desiring, which is embodiment. I mean, that's why you're here, right? So the biggest thing that I recommend for you is that when you find a restorative yoga flow or the poses that really speak to you, do them for at least 5 minutes each minimum and pay very close attention to your breath. The best guideline I can give you is breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. When I was developing this relationship with my body through restorative yoga, something that I did that really, really helped me deepen this connection with my body and like relax into my muscles even more was when I was breathing deeply in through my nose. I would inhale to the point where I felt myself expand so much that I started shaking. It was like this vibration of I'm filling myself with so much air, and then and it was like every time I did that, not only was I releasing just this like previously stuck stagnant energy in my body and in my cells, but I was literally increasing the space inside of me to be with me. Now you might feel like that sounds a little woo-woo, and it kind of is. It's talking about creating energetic space within you and expanding this container that you and your body exist in together as one. If you're not in the mood to search on YouTube or Google or whatever for restorative yoga poses, that's okay. I got you here. These are some 4. I'm just putting up these little shots that my wife took of me in the gym so that I can show you guys my top 4 recommended restorative yoga poses to do when you're embarking on this journey. Now, like I said, this isn't about getting in the best shape ever. Like, this is a completely different type of yoga than like hot yoga or hatha yoga, I think it's called. Like, it's literally just about developing a relationship with your body. And the slower that you move through this process, the longer that you hold these poses. And most importantly, the more consistent you are with doing this over a long period of time, the more you're going to notice not just this big radical transformation all at once. That wasn't my experience. Maybe it'll be yours, but if I were to guess, your experience is going to be a lot more like mine, where over time you just discover that you're a lot more in tune with how your body feels. You've gotten a lot more in touch with different sensations, different manifestations of energy, how tension shows up in your body, and just all these different things. You know, if there's a bit of inequality between how your muscles show up in different sides of your body, like spending this time with your body in these restorative yoga poses is so incredibly transformational. The second practice that I recommend when you are starting your embodiment body relationship journey is just sitting with yourself. You'll notice a theme with all of these exercises that I'm giving you, and it's that they're honestly kind of what a lot of people might consider boring, right? Like when we're moving really, really fast and going, I can almost guarantee you that you're not really in your body very much. Developing a deeply embodied relationship with yourself is about slowing down. I will say this, after about 8 years of developing my embodiment relationship with myself, I am able to move faster in my day-to-day life and maintain this deep sense of connection. But when I was first starting, I needed to move so incredibly slow. And sitting with myself during that time for really extended periods was hugely transformational. For me, it looked like about 60 minutes at least every single day. Granted, I was doing a different exercise during that time, but at the end of my restorative yoga flows every day as well, I would do a pose called Shavasana, which is basically just a fancy term for laying on your back and breathing in and out. That is something I would recommend too. You could integrate it into your restorative yoga flow. Do whatever poses you feel like doing. If you want it to be simple, stick to the 4 I showed on screen. And you can just lay with yourself afterwards, even if you just want to start for about 15 minutes. Once again, focus on breathing in and breathing out. And what you will notice is there's nowhere to hide. You cannot run from the sensations in your body. You might also notice that during the sitting with yourself portion or during the restorative yoga portion, possibly both, you may get really emotional. And I want to tell you that that is very, very normal. When you are connecting with your body in a deeper way than you possibly ever have, you're allowing feelings that you may have consciously or unconsciously repressed to come up to the surface. I will say you can just breathe through some of them, but if you feel the urge to cry, just let yourself do it. If you feel the urge to, scream, do it into a pillow or into your hands or growl, like whatever it is you need to do. This is also a fundamental element of building a deeply embodied relationship with yourself, is allowing yourself to feel whatever feelings come up in your vessel without shaming yourself, telling yourself they're wrong. Because the reality is, if you weren't supposed to be feeling these feelings, they would not be coming up in the first place. That leads me to my third tip for you on embarking on this deep embodiment journey. Let yourself feel. Now, depending on where you are at in your journey or your life experience thus far, this might actually feel pretty emotionally overwhelming. You might want to run from this part of the exercise. You might want to go, I'm not willing to do this. And to that, what I'm going to say is this. I'm not expecting you to be an expert at crying, feeling angry, feeling your feelings right off the hop. I've seen a lot of people over the years struggle with the ability to just feel. And all I can really say from watching them on their journey is this: you have to move at your own pace. I'm deeply experienced in letting myself feel my feelings. And so me feeling my feelings might look a lot more intense, if you want to label it as that, on the outside than your experience might look. It might look like letting yourself feel frustration silently inside for like 20 seconds and then you're just done because you feel like you've reached your own capacity for that moment. That's okay. There is no right or wrong on this journey. Whatever feelings you're ready to feel, you will feel. There's no need to force it. There is no need to attempt to activate feelings. If you want to, you can do that. You can find different meditations to connect with different parts of yourself to do this. You can literally keep it very simple and ask yourself, if you want to get more comfortable feeling the emotion of anger, frustration, sadness, jealousy, grief, even happiness, joy, whatever it is, you can ask yourself, what can I do to activate this emotion? And you'll get an answer in some way, shape, or form. Now, I know that too might seem woo-woo, but we're all about intuition here at Chrysalis House, so don't be surprised by that. Feeling your feelings is so massive. They are literally the crux of what our body exists to help us experience on this planet. I mean, obviously, our body is literally the vessel and the primary channel through which we experience life, right? We get to move, we get to eat, we get to poop, we get to do so many different things, but ultimately, we get to feel. And I understand that sometimes that can be so overwhelming and we can be like, fuck our feelings. But when you get more proficient at feeling your feelings, it actually becomes a lot less sufferable and it becomes a lot more enjoyable and cathartic. I'm really excited to be helping you start your embodiment journey. If I can credit any one single thing to helping me change my entire life the way that it has, it's my relationship with my body. Like, I love her so much. I'm so happy I get to exist in my body, and I hope for you to feel the exact same way, if not even more. My name is Chrysalis, and I will see you next time.